Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into the thick of it with Formula One, not just the racing, but, all the drama off the track, the power shifts.
Mm.
It's fascinating stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Absolutely. So our mission here is to basically give you the quick version, unpack all the big F1 news lately. We're talking leadership bombshells, amazing track moments, and even how you might watch the races soon. Think of it as your shortcut to knowing what's really happening.
That's right. We'll connect the dots because you've got these big personnel changes, you've got the race results, and then this whole thing with sports broadcasting. It looks separate, but it really paints the picture of where F1 is going.
And speaking of pictures, wow, we have to start with maybe the biggest shock of the season so far. This just happened today, and it could seriously shake up one of the absolute top teams.
The timing is something else.
Okay, let's unpack this Red Bull situation. News just dropped, July 9th, 2025. Christian Horner, after 20 years as team principal, sacked, gone with immediate effect. I mean, wow, that's huge. What on earth is behind that?
Well, it's complicated, as these things often are. Remember, earlier this year, those internal investigations cleared him of misconduct allegations officially. Anyway.
That's right, the whole saga.
Exactly. But this decision, the word is, it's a combination of things. One, Red Bull's performance this season. Honestly, it's been pretty off. They're sitting fourth, only 172 points. McLaren's leading with 460.
That's a massive gap, just huge.
It is. And then there's the other side, that lingering internal friction. We've heard whispers for a while, right?
Yeah.
Especially tensions with Max Verstappen's camp. It seems like all that finally came to a head. Maybe a power struggle that just reached its breaking point.
And they're not messing around. New leadership's already announced. Laurent Mickey's, he was head of Racing Bulls, right? Ex-Ferrari, FIA background too.
Yep. Mickey's is the new CEO of Red Bull Racing, effective immediately. And for Racing Bulls, the sister team, Alan Permain steps in as their team principal.
Okay, so quick moves. If this is really, as some are calling it, one of the most seismic off-track moves, what does this actually mean for Red Bull? Like right now and looking ahead?
Well, stepping back, it's more than just swapping out a leader. Horner was Red Bull Racing for 2 decades, the face, the driving force.
Actively.
So this sudden change, plus all that internal pressure we mentioned, it definitely puts a question mark over Max Verstappen's long-term future there. Does he stick around?
Yeah, that's the big question now, isn't it?
It really is, and it maybe signals a shift, from a team perhaps built around one driver's vision, maybe towards something more corporate-led. It could change everything, how they handle talent, their strategy. They're in totally uncharted territory now. Every move is going to be watched incredibly closely.
Okay, so from that Red Bull drama, let's pivot to the track itself, because, wow, the action there has been just as intense. And while Red Bull's dealing with this earthquake, McLaren has just been flying.
They really have. It's been quite the turnaround.
Just look at the British Grand Prix. Silverstone. Lando Norris finally gets his first home win. What a moment for him, for the team, for the crowd.
Incredible atmosphere.
And his teammate, Oscar Piastri, P2. A McLaren 1-2 at home. I mean, that sends a message, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And what was almost as amazing, maybe, was Nico Hülkenberg getting P3. His first ever podium. Can you believe it? After all this time.
That's fantastic for him. Really?
Yeah. And you contrast that with Max Verstappen finishing P5 for Red Bull. It was a tough day for them. Mixed weather. Maybe some strategy calls didn't quite pan out. It just shows how quickly things can change, how competitive it is right now.
Yeah, good point. And Piastri did have that 10-second penalty near the end. We should mention that. It shuffled things slightly, but still, McLaren looked incredibly strong.
The penalty didn't really dull the shine of their performance.
But okay, question for you. This McLaren win, especially the 1-2, is this a sign they're consistently the team to beat now? Or was Silverstone maybe just a really good track for them, perfect conditions, that kind of thing?
That's a fair question. I mean, you always have track specifics, right? But look at their development curve, their consistency lately, the way Norris and Piastri are working. I don't think this is just a one-off.
Okay.
They've clearly unlocked something with their recent upgrades. Silverstone showed what they can do when it all clicks. If they keep this up, especially with Red Bull having their own issues, McLaren is absolutely the main challenger, no doubt. They lead the constructors. They're strong in qualifying.
Right.
And even though Verstappen is still third, still a threat. You've got these intense battles now. Leclerc, Hamilton, Norris, Piastri. McLaren's proven they are a genuine, consistent force this season.
Okay. Interesting. So, shifting gears a bit, F1 isn't just track action and team shakeups. There's Big money, big business involved.
Yeah.
And there's buzz about Apple. Apple possibly bidding for the U.S. TV rights next year, taking on ESPN.
Yeah, this is really fascinating. It's part of a much bigger trend, isn't it? These huge tech companies, they want live sports content badly.
They seem to.
And Apple, well, they've already dipped their toes in F1 water, haven't they? That F1, the movie they backed, apparently made over $300 million. That's a massive success. It shows they know how to connect with this audience.
True, the movie was huge. But we've seen tech companies try sports streaming before, and sometimes it's, well, a bit clunky at first, right? What makes F1 different, maybe?
That's a good point. There can be teething problems. But F1 has this global, passionate, and often younger, tech-savvy audience that might be more open to a new platform like Apple TV Plus Nate.
Okay, so let's say Apple does win the rights. What does that actually mean for, for us watching at home? Is everything going behind another paywall?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Apple getting involved would definitely shake up sports broadcasting, and not just in the U.S. It could change how fans everywhere watch F1.
How
Think about Apple's whole ecosystem, their tech. You could see much more interactive ways to watch, different camera angles, maybe integrated stats, more personalized stuff. Yes, it might mean another subscription for some, fragmentation, but it could also bring in huge new audiences and, make the viewing experience way more immersive. It's potentially transformative.
Interesting times ahead for watching F1 then.
Yeah.
Okay, before we wrap this up, just a couple quick hits on other things bubbling away.
Sure. Just quickly, the 2026 Azerbaijan Grand Prix, that's been moved from its September 25th new date TBC, so keep an eye out for that if you're planning ahead.
Got it. Calendar tweak.
And also, the 2025 technical regulations, they're mostly staying the same, but there are a few small updates coming. Things like driver cooling systems are getting tweaked, and there's a slight change to the minimum car weight. Minor stuff, but engineers love those little details.
Yep. Always tinkering. And, right, for everyone planning their summer, the calendar keeps rolling. Next up is the Belgium GP Spa, July 25th to 27th. Then right after, Hungary, August 1st to 3rd. Two absolute classics back-to-back.
Yeah, Spa and the Hungering. Great races coming up.
So wrapping it all up, what's the big takeaway here for you, the listener? Whether you live and breathe F1 or you're just getting into it, we've seen this huge shakeup at Red Bull, McLaren's amazing surge, and now this potential game changer with Apple and how we might watch. A lot happening.
Exactly, and it all connects, the on-track battles, the off-track politics, the business side. It's all part of this constantly evolving picture. And in a world just flooded with information, understanding how these pieces fit together, thinking critically about it, that's really valuable. F1 gives us plenty to think about right now.
It certainly does. So